Dear students, this is the lecture 3 tutorial in plane stress, plane strain and principal stress on GATE training course on mechanics of materials. Let's go into the lecture. So today's topics for discussion. So tutorial problems in 3-dimensional stress system, plane stress, plane strain, principal stresses and principal plane and maximum shear stress. These are the topics which we have discussed in the previous lecture. Now we are going to see some tutorial problems in this topics. So the tutorial problem 1. In a rectangular bar, the stress applied along two perpendicular axes are 6000 Newton per mm square and 1000 Newton per mm square. Find the normal strain along the two axes if Poisson ratio is 0.25 and E, that is Young's modulus, is 2 with the 5 zeros, that is 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. Assume plane stress condition. So the given data are the sigma x is given, so this is the one of the stress, and sigma y is given, that is another stress, and the Poisson ratio and Young's modulus values are given. So now we want to find the normal strain in the sense Ex and Ey, and gamma xy we call it as the shear strain. So now our question is, we are asked to find Ex and Ey. So this is the relation for Ex. So this term sigma x by E minus mu into sigma y by E, we all know that sigma x by E, this is the linear strain component and this is the lateral strain component, or we can call it this is the longitudinal strain and this is the lateral strain component, right? So we have discussed it in the previous class or in the previous lecture. So now, so just substituting the values, we can get the value of Ex as 0.02875 and Ey, so just substituting the values and we can get the answer as minus 0.0025. So this is the way how the questions will be asked. So in this question, the factors are Ex, sigma x, sigma y, right? So normally the constants, Poisson's ratio and Young's modulus will be given, and among these three, now we are asked to find Ex and Ey, right? So we have three variables now, Ex, sigma y and Ey, right? 4. Among these 4, any two datas will be given and you will be asked to find any two datas. In this case, Ex and Ey are the unknown values and sigma x and sigma y are the given datas along with E and mu. So in the same manner, I can give the value of Ex and Ey and you can be asked to find what is the value of sigma x and sigma y, right? So now the answer is 0.02875 Ex and Ey value is minus 0.0025. So which means this is a compressive strain, right? So the first answer is the right answer, option E. So next, an underground wire can be considered as a dash problem, plane stress or plane strain. So let's see. In the basic assumption of a plane stress and plane strain condition, we have said that if we assume the stress component in one direction, normally the Z direction, if the stress component is 0, we call it as a plane stress condition. So the problem, the type of problems occurring in plane stress condition is, say we may be having a plate, rectangular plate, which is fixed at one end and the loading is at another end. So that kind of problems we will be considering it as a plane stress problem. In a plane strain problem, a dam problem was given as the example in the lecture. or the main criteria is you have to constrain the movement in one direction, right? So in the underground wire, the friction of surface with soil restricts strain in one direction, that is along the length it is restricted to movement due to the friction of soil. So as a result, the weight of the soil, it tries to compress the what we can say the underground wire, whereas it cannot elongate along the length. So it can be solved as a plane strain problem. So the answer B is the correct answer. So now the third question, a rectangular plate is stressed along the x and y direction by tensile stresses. The maximum value of normal stress occurs at planes. The options are parallel to both direct stresses, at planes 45 to both direct stresses, C 30 degree to both axes, depends on magnitude of loading. So now the question is, we have two stresses, sigma x and sigma y, right? Only two stresses. So now we are asked to find the plane at which the maximum value of normal stress occurs, right? So if there is no tau xy, remember, if there is no tau xy, so this is the relation for sigma n, maximum value of normal stress. This is the equation. So now sigma n is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into cos 2 theta. So for sigma n to be maximum, cos 2 theta has to be maximum. So cos 2 theta has a maximum value of 1. So cos theta will be maximum when cos 2 theta becomes 0 or cos 2 theta becomes 180 degree. So for this to become maximum, so either theta has to be 0 or cos 2 theta has to be 180. So theta has to be 90 degree. So when theta is 0, so normally theta is measured from y direction, from the y axis. Remember, theta is measured from y direction. So when theta is 0, it is parallel to y axis. So when theta is 90 degree, it is parallel to x axis. So when it is parallel to both the axes, either it is parallel to the y axis or it is parallel to the x axis, the maximum value of sigma n occurs in a case where there is only sigma x or sigma y. Remember this condition, there should be only two stresses, sigma x and sigma y. In that case, parallel to both the sigma x and sigma y, maximum sigma n will occur. Right. The next problem, pick the wrong statement regarding principal plane. So first option is normal stress is maximum. Second, shear stress is minimum. Third option, two principal plane occurs in a biaxial stress system. Okay, now let's see the first statement. Normal stress is maximum. So the basic definition of principal plane is, in that principal plane, the normal stress is maximum. So the normal stress value is maximum. That is the right answer. The second statement, shear stress is minimum. The other way of looking the principal plane is, in the principal plane, the shear stress is 0. So it is not minimum, it is 0. It has no value. So the second statement is wrong. And the third statement is, two principal plane occurs in a biaxial stress system. Yes, two principal plane occurs in a biaxial stress system. So it is also the right statement. So the wrong statement is B. So instead of shear stress is minimum, shear stress has to be 0. So now we can move on to the next problem. Problem number 5. A material is stressed by normal stress 100 Newton per mm square tensile along x-axis and 500 Newton per mm square compression along y-axis. A shear stress of 300 Newton per mm square also acts on the material. Find the value of shear stress acting at a plane 30 degree from x-axis. So you have to read the problem very carefully. See, these are the answer options and these are the given data. Sigma x is equal to 1000 Newton per mm square, that is given, and sigma y is equal to, remember here it is given as 500 Newton per mm square compression. So you should take the value as minus 500 Newton per mm square. So this is very important. Normally students used to do mistakes in this point. And as shear stress value is given, so tau xy is equal to 300 Newton per mm square, no problem with that. And then the value of shear stress acting at a plane 30 degree from x-axis. Remember, while doing all the derivation, it is considered that the angle of inclination is from the y-axis. So here purposely the angle is given from the x-axis. So you have to convert the inclination from the x-axis to the y-axis. So theta is equal to 90 minus 30, that is 60 degrees. So 60 degree from y-axis. So this is the angle. So again people will do mistake here. So be careful with the sign of the stress as well as the angle. So now the simple equation is sigma t is equal to sigma x minus sigma y by 2 sin 2 theta minus tau xy cos 2 theta. So you can just directly substitute the values, right, in the corresponding places, and you can get the answer as 366.5 Newton per mm square. So again the correct option is option A, 366.5 Newton per mm square. Again, the ways in which this problem can be asked is, so here we have different unknown values, that is different variables, that is sigma t, sigma x, sigma y, theta and tau xy. So any one thing can be given as an unknown. So in this problem you are asked to find sigma t. So in the same problem I can ask you to find sigma x by giving all the other values except sigma x, right? So the formula is same, you have to find the unknown thing, that's it. Let's move on. So this is problem number 6. A material is stressed by normal stress 1000 Newton per mm square tensile along x-axis and 500 Newton per mm square compression along y-axis. I have kept the same values. The value of normal stress acting at a plane 30 degree from y-axis is 200 Newton per mm square. So I have given the normal stress value at a plane 30 degree from y-axis, 200 Newton per mm square compressive. Find the value of shear stress accompanying the two normal stresses in xy plane. So let's see what it is. So these are the answer options. So these are the given data. So I have given you the sigma x value and sigma y value. I have given the same data. So remember it is compression, so it is minus 500. And sigma n, that is the value of normal stress, is given as 200 Newton per mm square compressive. Again remember to put the negative sign. So minus 200 Newton per mm square. And here theta is given with respect to y axis. So I can take the same angle. No need to change the axis. So theta is equal to 30 degree. And I have asked you to find the shear stress accompanying the two normal stresses, that is tau xy. I have asked you to find tau xy. So the sigma n relation is this: sigma n is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y the whole by 2 into cos 2 theta plus tau xy into sin 2 theta. So just I have to substitute all the values. So minus 200 1000 minus 500, whatever it may be. Just I have substituted all the values, and the only unknown thing is tau xy. Now I can find the value of tau xy. So the tau xy answer being minus 952.6 Newton per mm square. So that is, it indicates the sense of shear stress, positive direction or negative direction, that is clockwise shear or anti-clockwise shear, whatever it may be, right? So this is the value of shear stress acting here, right? So we have found that tau xy, and the option is again minus 952.6 Newton per mm square. Okay. So again in the same problem also, as said before, I can ask what is the value of sigma n by giving the values of sigma x, sigma y, theta and tau xy. Okay. So any one thing can be given as an unknown by giving all the other values. So you have to find the unknown value. So problem number 7. So I have kept the same values. A material is stressed by normal stress 1000 Newton per mm square tensile along x-axis and 500 Newton per mm square compression along y-axis. A shear stress of 300 Newton per mm square also acts on the material. So now I have given sigma x, sigma y and tau xy. Find the position of principal plane. Now it is asked to find the position of principal plane. So let's see what it is. Say these are the answer options. So now the given data are sigma x, again 1000 Newton per mm square. Sigma y, I have given it as 500 Newton per mm square compression. So it is minus 500 Newton per mm square. Then tau xy is given here. It is given as 300 Newton per mm square. And you are asked to find angle of principal stress theta p. So this is the formula. Tan 2 theta p is equal to 2 into tau xy by sigma x minus sigma y. So I can directly substitute the values, numerical values, and I can get the value of theta p as 10.9. Remember, if you are just putting tan inverse, you will be getting the value for 2 theta p, right? So you will be getting some value here, and when you put tan inverse for it, the value what you are getting is 2 theta p, and you have to divide it by 2 and find theta p. Some people used to forget to divide it by 2, and the actual answer would be something like 21.8. That should be the answer, right? Initially 2 theta p was 21.8. I have divided it by 2 and found it as 10.9. So 10.9 is the right answer. Remember here, the first option is given as 21.8. Whenever you see some value as 21.8, we have the tendency to tick that, right? So intentionally that value was also given as the option. So actual answer was 10.9. So the option is B, 10.9. Remember it, right? So another thing I want to mention here. So here I have asked you to find the principal plane instead of, if you are asked to find the maximum shear plane, the plane at which maximum shear occurs. So just remember the formula, theta tau max is equal to 10.9, that is theta p plus 45. So maximum shear plane always occur at an angle 45 degree from the principal plane. That is, from the principal plane at an angle of 45 degree, you will get the maximum shear plane. So just to remember, I have put it here. So the problem number 8, a material is stressed by normal stress 1000 Newton per mm square tensile along x-axis and 500 Newton per mm square compression along y-axis. A shear stress of 300 Newton per mm square also acts on the material. Find the value of maximum shear stress. I have kept the same numericals, and now I have asked you to find the maximum shear stress. So these are the options. Sigma x value is given, sigma y value is given, tau xy is given, and you are supposed to find sigma t max or tau max. So just we have to substitute it in the formula and we can get the answer as 807.77 Newton per mm square. Right. So 807.8 Newton per mm square. Option A is the right answer. So in the same thing again, I am repeating it again and again. Instead of finding tau max, you may be asked to find sigma x by giving the other data like tau max, tau xy, sigma y. If those values are given, you can find the value of sigma x. So you will be asked to find any one of the missing value in this formula by giving the other data. Let's move on. So problem number 9, a material is stressed by normal stress 1000 Newton per mm square tensile along x-axis and 500 Newton per mm square compression along y-axis. A shear stress of 300 Newton per mm square also acts on the material. Find the value of principal stresses. Now it is asked to find the value of principal stresses. I have kept the same data. Sigma x is equal to 1000 Newton per mm square. Sigma y is equal to minus 500 Newton per mm square being compression. Tau xy is equal to 300 Newton per mm square. And you are asked to find the principal stresses sigma p1 and sigma p2. So these are the formulas relating sigma p1 and sigma x, sigma y and tau xy. Sigma p1 is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 the whole square plus tau xy the whole square the whole under square root. So similarly we will be having the formula for sigma p2 with sign, negative sign before the square root. So by substituting the numerical values we can get the value of sigma p1. Similarly by just substituting the values in the sigma p2 equation we can get the another principal stress value. So the values are 1057.77. So that is 1057.8 Newton per mm square and minus 557.8 Newton per mm square. So option A is the right answer. So let me tell you some other relation also. So while discussing principal stress, I have pointed out a relation. Sigma p1 plus sigma p2 is equal to sigma x plus sigma y. Right. If you know the value of sigma x and sigma y and sigma p1, you can easily find the value of sigma p2. That is just sigma x plus sigma y minus sigma p1 is equal to sigma p2. Right. We can have a check also. See here, if you know the value of sigma p1, that is you have found the value of sigma p1. Now you know the value of sigma x and sigma y. So addition of sigma x and sigma y is 1000 minus 500. So the value is 500. Right. So 500. Here you have 1057. Right. So 500 minus 1057. That is addition of these two. When adding sigma p1 and sigma p2, the value is 500. Similarly, when adding sigma x and sigma y, the value is 500. So this relation can also be used. Instead of putting it here and finding the value, you can also find the value of sigma p1 and substitute it in this equation and find the value of sigma p2. So you can save value